Would you rather live in a place like this or a place like this? This is Cities for People. Let's go to the crosswalk. This will be the first of many videos about urban planning, walkability, city design, and some of the controversial or challenging topics about it. So first things first, who am I? I grew up in a traditional non-walkable suburb. And then later in life, my wife and I decided to do something pretty radical. We built a camper van and traveled all over North America. Yes, van life. But this was in 2017, way before it was cool. And that allowed us to live in basically every city, visit every national park, which was awesome. America is absolutely massive, so many different regions and different ways to live. So we would just park our van and walk everywhere. Most of the time it was a pleasant experience, but wow, sometimes not fun. And then we went to Europe for a month and talk about a game changer. This really opened up my eyes to true livability, walkability, and just beautiful cities. Man, Europe is so much better than America. Dang it. So through those experiences, really just became passionate about a lifestyle that enables more walking. Simple as that. And also biking, of course. But for this particular video, I'm just going to focus on walking. We'll get to biking in other videos. Okay, and when I'm talking about walking, I'm not really talking about like just going for a walk and coming back. I mean, you know, being able to walk to school, walk to your job, walk to places of interest. That makes walking worth it. And I know from firsthand experience that this is impossible in a lot of places in the United States, which is sad. And the damage that has been done to the livability of our cities because we decided to design our cities around the car instead of people is so unfortunate. According to the EPA, cars and trucks account for 1/5 of all emissions. And according to a traffic data company called INRIX, the average US driver spends 97 hours stuck behind the wheel throughout the year. That's over 2 weeks. According to the CDC, car accidents is the leading cause of death for people 5 to 29 years old. The leading cause. I always find it a little bit ironic when people are afraid to fly because you're 2,000 times more likely to die on the car ride on the way to the airport. So if you're out in the suburbs, similar to where I grew up, in my opinion, it is a colossal waste of space. At least from a human's perspective. But for a car, though, it's a car paradise. You got car washes, gas stations, auto parts stores, tire shops, brake shops. The list goes on and on and on. So what is stopping you from doing less driving and more walking? All right, I know what you're thinking. It's way too hot or it's way too cold. Okay, I really don't buy this one. Let's say you live in a colder climate, don't you have a jacket? And all right, if you hate the cold, if that's where you live, well then you just won't walk as much during the wintertime. You would still walk 75% of the year. And if you live in a hotter climate, like in the south, then I guess it's too hot in the summer, right? Similar to where I live. Well, we don't walk as much in the summer, and I just have learned to appreciate how much I sweat. How about you don't walk because it's too dangerous? But is it as dangerous as driving, though? And like I said, there are certainly many spots in America where you cannot walk whatsoever. And if you do, you seriously risk your life. And that's why finding a more walkable area is critical. And I'm here to help you do that. Have you ever tried the public transit where you live? Have you ever tried public transit in another city? You can relax, you can work, get on your laptop, get on your phone. It's much safer than driving if you get into an accident. It reduces traffic, you got one less car on the road, it reduces pollution, good for the environment. So let's do a quick sample case. And I'm gonna pick what is widely considered the sprawliest city, the most unwalkable city with weird urban design and strange zoning laws or no zoning laws. Houston. People love to hate on Houston. Not Just Bikes made a whole video dedicated to how much he hates Houston. So let's say you have a job downtown or the medical center, which are the primary employment areas in the city. Okay, so case number one, we have a one-bedroom apartment that's around $1,500, right smack dab in the museum district, across the street from one of the best parks in the city, Herman Park. You're 3.5 miles from downtown. You're 1.5 miles from the Texas Medical Center. You could absolutely live this way without a car. And according to Allstate, the average cost of a car is $894 per month. You can walk to the light rail, restaurants, one of the most beautiful college campuses in the United States, Rice University. And let's compare that to this apartment here in what is considered Memorial, which is a very suburban area, 23 miles away from downtown. Roughly the same cost, around $1,500, but you would need a car. So you have to tack on additional, over $800, to your monthly expense. Hey, you can walk to Dairy Queen and Subway and, of course, go to the car wash or get your tires changed because you've been doing all that driving. So if it can be done in Houston, Texas, it can be done anywhere. I challenge you. And if I wasn't able to convince you, maybe let the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, who lived in Denmark in the mid-1800s, so this dude was walking all over the place. He said, quote, "Above all else, do not lose your desire to walk. Every day I walk myself into a state of well-being and walk away from every illness. I have walked myself into my best thoughts, and I know of no thought so burdensome that one cannot walk away from it." Appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.